Man, that's the one.
Kind of a sign that had come down, I guess.
Right. I don't know.
Who's trying to cover health and so it's pretty dusty.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah.
That's kind of what I
You know, we're neighbor communities trying to come together.
That's what I refer to as the world there. Open the meeting, open the floor, and then bring him up and
Dealing with the highway or
Yeah.
how much business or
honestly,
lack of business.
just kind of figure out where we're at on things. This really is a community discussion. We're together, so we have to do it important, but I'd rather see it be a community discussion than community issues.
Way. My husband got pulled over in the rain, here Langston.
That would be fantastic. I was actually planning on introducing you to one of us. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, see, I don't have-
Bring out sponsor as well. Some of the people that are showing up, but they do what they're doing here, but
What's your show? Going to court.
he's on here, so.
I know. Both you guys.
Okay, I passed this farm in Lincoln County.
Really?
I did write on the back of it.
Oh, yes, okay. Which church?
It seemed to
Oh,
have
in
a church in
Triumph.
Triumph.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
were closed it, and I was retired. I took it
You just
like
did it,
6
yeah.
and a half years. It was good.
Yeah. Good. Okay.
Where did you get your basketball
No,
stuff?
no, I got it.
And, I brought me the new tank.
Okay.
And,
But I like to ride. I got a chance.
Well, I'm working on
they want $55,000.
Oh, of course they do. Yeah.
So we need to be applying for some grants.
Right, okay.
Busy doing running.
That's good, yeah.
I'm riding
So,
constantly, so.
two things. One,
Oh,
well, anytime. Email or call or whatever.
Okay.
The other is, I work, when I'm not state rep, I work for the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, FCA.
Okay, right.
So if you would ever want a testimony from an OSU athlete, football player or something, you know, in publicized, so if you need somebody to give you a testimony, we do that all over. I sent 6 guys to the Panhandle.
What level are you in those
Super Bowl
meetings?
Sunday. I'm a community affairs. Yeah, it's way out there.
Not the middle of nowhere, that is the edge of nowhere.
Yes, yes, sir. So if I can help you either way.
Yeah, very good. Thank you.
I will ask the state farm marshal, what are some, for rural fire departments, what are some grants that
And you're part of the
all the time?
situation out there.
So,
I appreciate it.
yeah, I mean, I was riding with the police, sheriff, Payne County Sheriff, and there was a fire, and only the rural fire departments, Ingalls, several, Ripley, and Glencoe. Those 3 rules came to this mobile home fire, and it had spread from the mobile home to the grass, and you know, they were fighting it like crazy. So I don't think people realize that half of the state is controlled by the rural fire department.
They don't realize
No,
this. They
no.
really don't.
Well, because if you're in a big city, you don't see that.
And wildland fires are basically in rural areas.
Right.
Now, once in a while, there'll be one at the city of Tulsa or something, but the real wildland fires are in rural areas.
Yeah.
Thank you.
for what you do.
I thought there was more than somebody.
Because I didn't have answers.
It's another grant, thank you.
John, before I pass the buck game.
Oh, yeah.
We got one more person to show up here. We'll kind of give her a couple of minutes here.
I got 2 bills signed by the governor today. So,
Congratulations.
thank you. It's hard.
Yeah.
That's so fast.
Oh, God, you said it. I'm gonna start rolling ponies outside, it's too much down here.
Go away,
Well,
last couple of days, that wind.
yeah.
Oh. I was glad we hadn't had fires.
So am
They'd be in Texas by now.
That's okay, we can send ours back to Texas. They said there's a,
over in Payne County, but they got it put out quick.
Oh, okay. Let's do it.
next couple of days may be a little bit different with weather front coming through.
Northeast Sun is what area?
Well, we're supposed to get some rain, quite a bit of rain.
I hope so.
You know
They're
what the
saying
Rusty
we're
Barrel
out here
is?
this area will be.
Yeah, we got
six to
it.
seven.
It's the,
What,
it's
wait.
there.
Oh, okay.
6 to 7 inches.
Right here?
We go, our district goes to Range Road,
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
and going north, it goes up to 68th Street
Okay.
in Payne County. And then we've got this Logan County area.
It's on there, that it doesn't, there's no way to do it.
You have to unlock it, right? Okay, that's why I jumped up.
That's the old bank building and was it man cave or whatever?
Oh.
But you do such a great job out of it.
I thought I was getting paid.
I'll give you part of my check.
Trouble sitting over
Oh,
there.
yeah. Well, you know, she used to work for it.
Yeah.
They just doubled my wages at the last meeting, so I'll give you part of my check.
Should be here in a minute.
Yeah.
Let's-
Wait a minute.
Oh.
Okay. Call the Board of Trustees special meeting session to order at 6:04. Roll call, please.
Trustee King,
Yep.
Trustee Hale will be here shortly. Mayor Long.
Here.
Make a motion to bypass item 3 on the agenda, the welcome guest, since it's gonna be a public discussion.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, business agenda is discussion. Any good? What we'll have on the discussion between all of us, all I ask, one person at a time, please, so we can understand what's going on. With that, we're gonna look, our Representative Tom Tallahassee here.
Okay. Thank you for letting us fix this meeting so quickly, but I would like to introduce Trent January from ODOT. Trent, I've emailed you many times about problems. Thank you for getting back to me so quickly. They had some questions about lights and all kinds of stuff, so I thought, you know what? And so, seriously, you guys, he was in Antlers earlier today, and here he is tonight, so thank you. But when I emailed him and said, could you come to the meeting, he got back to me within like 5 minutes. So I really appreciate you being here. Where would you like for Trent to sit?
You just stand over there, that's fine.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind standing.
I'll grab me another chair.
Okay. You made it.
Okay, Joanne, you had a question.
I did. Where,
Well, if we want to start off, if you wouldn't mind.
where's the
reading.
email that we sent to, I guess we sent it to you. I'll get it here shortly.
Okay.
Some of the questions and concerns that we've had, if you wouldn't mind addressing real quick, and then we can come up with more questions, et cetera, was the The lack of communication between ODOT, the construction company currently working on the highway, and the towns, and this affects not only Coyle, but also will be affecting Langston as well. Early on in the construction project, we had our light was taken out, we understand by mistake.
Yes, sir.
And there was a lot of back and forth as to whose fault it was and whose pockets it was coming out of. And in the meantime, we've got a town and a community that's gone without a light at that intersection, which has proven fairly dangerous on one of the most dangerous highways in the state. I would like, if you wouldn't mind, address that issue. Another topic that has been of concern is impending construction in the entries. Having those entries shut down, we'd like, what is ODOT's plan on notifying and communicating with the different communities? Because that's going to affect our emergency responders, that's going to affect our school buses and bus routes, and that's just going to affect our community as a whole. I mean, you're talking about over 2,000 people that will be essentially affected by these two entrances or areas being shut down, whether it's morning commutes or what have you. If you wouldn't mind addressing those things, we'd appreciate it. Is that
Yeah.
covered?
You did good. You got number one first, was the lighting number. Number two is the impact of rerouting the drainage underneath our main street, and how long that'll take, and how long will the road be closed,
When?
and
That's
when.
4 questions.
Well, that was all in number
Hold
two.
on.
That was all number two, and then we got 3 more.
Okay, I'll start with the lighting.
Thank you.
From what I was told from our construction agency, yeah, it actually got cut when we were doing the grading for the 4-lane. I'm not gonna throw OG&E under the bus. I did reach out to OG&E and said, hey, we're done with the grading. Is there any way we can get that light temporarily hooked back up? I got told no. So, and I relayed that to you as well, that when I reached out, they said, no, there's no way we can do it. I said, okay. So I let that one lie, but in the meantime,
But we didn't know that. We had no idea that you had reached out to OG&E. And,
I talked to Courtney.
You know,
well, Corky, I don't have to speak on
So,
Corky.
no, Corky's couldn't make it today,
Oh, I'm
so I'm just
sorry.
gonna field
Okay.
questions. But he did tell me that we're not able to install anything until construction is complete.
yeah, it accidentally got cut, you know, but we were done grading. And grading is all that's gonna be done on this project. And so, because, I'll go, I saw you look there. So we're gonna do the grading on this project. Due to funding, we had to split it up. We're doing all the grading. We're gonna let the paving right behind it, but all we're doing is the grading. And the grading was completed in that area where that line got cut. And so that was my request of, hey, can we get that temporarily hooked up until we come up with the ultimate solution of adding additional lights, because it's expanding to a 4-lane.
Right.
To make that, you know, like you said, a safer intersection, so it's lit up so everybody can see.
So John let us know about putting 2 more lights in at the end of the project, to put an additional 2 on the other side of the highway.
So
Well, I have some
as
comments
part of,
on that.
as part of this project, yeah, we're gonna look, I'm having the designer design it, they're designing it right now.
Right.
And once I got that laid out, I was gonna come to you guys, say, hey, we're gonna end up adding 3 more lights. That could possibly add to your electric bill a little bit.
That was exactly one of my points.
And the cities are responsible for that electric light, for the electric bill and for the light. So I was coming to you to say, hey, this is what we were gonna do. Would you like for me to do something different? Do you want 2 lights? Do you want 4 lights? But I was gonna give you hey, we're gonna put them in at our cost. We're paying for it. And then we would turn them over you for the maintenance. You already have an agreement, I'm guessing, with OG&E,
Right.
a maintenance agreement with OG&E. That's how a lot of our cities work. And so I don't have that designed yet. I was gonna come to
So
you.
that's a future plan, it's not even
Nope,
done on the.
it wasn't, so it got missed in these plans, that light, it wasn't even in the plans.
Okay.
So I'm adding that into this project via a change order, like I said, and we will pay for that. And all that lighting will be designed to focus on the intersection.
Right.
So a lot of it'll all be LED. They'll be focusing on the intersection. Shouldn't be shining out any other direction. Should be focused
Excellent.
Is it
directly
gonna
on
be
the.
better than the one that currently we have installed?
Correct. I don't, if it's LED or if it's the old type.
The reason I say that.
I
is,
don't know for sure.
I don't know either.
I'm in a home that will be directly south of those lights. presently, you can see about, I was hoping that Corky could come by the house before the meeting so he could see how much we see of the existing line. We see about 15 foot of right now, right in our living room. It was better when the tree was there, but y'all took the tree down. And then it got cut, so, you know what I'm saying. But just beware. They have to have hoods on them.
Yeah, and they will, and that's what I was saying, it's directed at the intersection. They have the
They're
hood,
called
it's a
dark
stand.
lights. Well, okay, we're doing a lot of light pollution with city lights and street lights, et cetera, and there's, when you shade them down and don't let the light escape and block the stars, they're called dark lights. It's an oxymoron, but that's what they're called.
So all the lighting is gonna be designed to our standards
Okay.
that we work with OG&E on to make sure, since they are maintaining
Can I
it.
please be included in there, in that, in seeing what the impact is?
And that's what I just said, is when I get that
Not the
design.
board, me, the homeowner, that is gonna be staring at four lights.
You are on the board.
Well, but this is my personal request. The town has to have lighting. I'll go down fighting for lights, but when we get them, I
So-
would invite you to see my 43-foot room full of glass windows.
So they're gonna be, again, pointing at the roadway. They'll be pointing
Okay.
down at the roadway.
Everybody heard that?
Yeah.
And we
Okay.
design those, and when they design them, they have an area that they look at, like an aerial triangle that
That's
they look at.
fantastic.
That they design.
Okay.
So they design that lighting based on a triangle, like how far that lighting goes out, based on how bright it is and how big you want to make
Okay.
that. So yes, so that all gets taken into account.
Yeah.
They're currently working on it. I don't have those plans
Well,
yet.
when you do it, I'm sure you'll give it the board, and I'll get to see
Yep.
them. And,
That's not a problem at all.
okay. I have one more question, because I heard from one of the contractor, not you, that they were going to take that light pole down that exists there right now.
That's something that we'll have to work with OG&E on. I keep pointing at you. No. That's something that we're gonna have to work with them on.
Because if the light could be hooked back up, because I understand it may be 18 months to 2 years before we have paving.
So this time frame is one of the questions that we were looking at as far as.
So, yeah, and like I said earlier, the lighting, I'm gonna try to get the lighting as part of this project where they're doing the
Cool.
bridges and all the dirt work.
Okay.
So we're gonna do, because we're gonna have everything graded out.
Because you're gonna take that light and you're gonna dig Main Street up temporarily to redirect the flow of water.
We'll put a new culvert.
Yeah, a
underneath
bigger
there.
one.
Yep.
So he was correct when he said that he has to take the light pole down.
More than likely, it's in
It
conflict.
will have to come down at some point.
At some
yeah.
point,
Yeah.
it will have to come
But
down.
at
The
least-
question is where are we at in the plans as far as how far out?
I have a designer,
Any ideas?
I have a designer working on it right now. I'm
Okay.
hoping to get that soon. I don't know the time frame off the top of my head.
But-
Hoping to get that really soon so I can implement that. Because there is a lag time on getting materials
Right.
specifically for lights. So I want to try to get this going as fast as possible.
If I could nutshell questions, are you going to be, when would you be cutting a hole through Main Street to put the new culvert in?
I'm gonna have to look at their schedule. I do
Yes,
not know.
that was the second.
That is the second
is-
question,
yeah.
but that's what dictates when the light pole comes down.
And so I'll have to look at their schedule and see how they are sequencing that. I don't know off the top of my head on that one.
Okay.
Because literally, that's why he's taking the light pole down, is to enlarge that culvert on Main Street. That's what I was told by the contractor. That drives a big black pickup truck.
Is there the possibility of putting a solar light there? Solar powered?
Again, I'm looking at OG&E.
That would, yeah, but that would cut out all of the lines, if they wouldn't have to put the lines back in and.
Yeah, but I'm afraid you're gonna.
I think Corky did actually suggest that. I mean, he was like, hey, that's probably one of my only suggestions, but we're not gonna be able to put a light till construction is.
Okay, so that's something that we've discussed several times that may need to come up. Maybe we need to sit down with them as well.
Solar?
Solar or something else, because we understand that OG&E is not going back and putting a new light in.
Right,
We're
right.
not asking, there's an existing light.
Yeah, so he was open to that, the solar.
Yeah, so there's two options here. One is that we reconnect the line that we dug up, which should be a short run line, or we look at a solar option for that.
But that's what everybody.
Either way,
Let me look
the
at
construction company's gonna pick up the bill on this one,
Normally
is what we're understanding here.
Yeah.
And if they're not understanding that, we're more than happy to explain that, how that works to them. You break it, you bought it, you replace it.
What the main thing is right now, is everybody is,
Yeah.
it was about to go off in that ditch.
There you go.
And you can't see at all. Matter of fact, I'm so close to it myself, so. And
Is that
it needs,
something that you guys will do?
Well, I mean, that's what Corky had thrown out whenever he discussed, he did mention solar lighting. So we'll have to, he's not here today, so I'll field it and I'll take it back and.
Because that'll be something, if we want to go solar, that changes the design, like where we're running wiring and stuff.
Well, it's up to, yeah.
temporary.
That's also a question of the temporary light now, going solar as opposed to reconnecting so that we don't have somebody rip out the line in the future versus the final product,
Yeah, we
whether or
will,
not that goes solar or just there shouldn't be any more construction to cause that issue again, right?
and I think that's going to be between the city and OG&E, whether it's solar or whether it's wiring, and I just need to know.
I mean, it's just
That's a good
we're
conversation.
trying to come up with options.
Yeah, if that's an option.
We can do something out there right now so people won't run off
So,
the ditch.
is that something that y'all would do? Like, that's where I don't know, let's hook it up to say.
Okay.
As far as solar like lighting, I don't know, I know a little bit more about how it works with homes, but as far as on streetlights, I'm not
Yeah,
too.
that's,
familiar.
I'm 100% sure either. Because
I still
I mean, I
think
can-
this conversation is moot until we know when they're taking, how soon are you going to dig up Main Street and enlarge the hole?
I gotta look at the
You
schedule.
gotta look at the schedule. Because that's why everybody's afraid of driving off into the hole. As soon as you modify that, that hole is not as dangerous anymore.
Correct. When we,
And the light pole won't be there either, guys.
Right.
so when we go to address that drop off, we will extend that structure.
Right.
So when we extend that structure, that moves that drop off away from the edge where it currently is today, right?
Right.
And so there won't be that worry of dropping off anymore. But still, with it going to a 4-lane, lighting is it is necessary to help with that intersection.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, okay.
So how do we resolve this in the meantime? You'll get back with us when you have your drawing?
I guess I need to call Corky.
I mean, this is probably not the time to play. He
Well,
said,
not even
I don't know if he
time.
knew that this was like an actual council meeting, but he was like, man, call me if you guys need to, but I don't think this is probably the setting.
I think,
Just get back with us. You've got to check your schedule. You've got drawings coming. Nothing's gonna happen until that happens, and we all just be careful. And then we can all get back together again.
Well, I think our biggest problem right now is you can't see out there.
Well, that's
That
true.
light's gone. It's not our problem, they cut the light. And what you can see, G&E said they're not fixing it. We're without light. Now, if we're paying the bill,
Well, not really.
Well,
There's no
there's
electricity.
no electricity.
but that's just it. They're not getting paid for that light anyways.
Well,
Now,
And
the,
I don't know if it's for safety reasons or what the reasoning is behind, but there's some reason that we just, it's standard, we don't put it
Yeah, I
until
did-
construction is
so,
complete.
it's not.
But I'll definitely, I'll give them a call.
We can see the
All
wires.
I'm asking, look at what's there now. What I have.
actually, you can see the wires, they're like 2 inches above the ground. Or, well, they're sticking out like my arms are right now. Yeah, you can see them.
The better answer, I mean, the best thing for us is to have the light redone. There are reflectors right now that are giving you an idea that there's a big old culvert ditch there. Is there a way that we could put battery operated flashing lights or
They don't
just
They
steady?
put them in there last 2 days.
There are some up there and they last about 2 days and you can't see them until you're 20 feet away from
Wow,
them.
and we travel this highway a lot.
Yeah. So I think this is I understand that OG&E doesn't typically do that until construction's finished. I think this is a very good opportunity for OG&E to make an exception, given the time frame of the construction.
One can
It
actually
is
say
a year.
construction is complete at this time.
This phase of, yes, I think there's a very good argument to be made there
I think that's what you're
to make an exception.
The
You said the grading's
the grading of it, and that's
Right.
what we're doing is grading on this job. So that's what I was told. We were done with grading. We could hook that line back up.
Yeah, the next part of that project's gonna be, besides the changing the culvert, actually coming in and laying concrete or asphalt, whatever it is.
So, yeah, all the culverts, any drainage structures will be done as part of this project.
Okay.
The other project that's coming after we get that done is just straight pavement.
Okay. So and we're still looking at some time out on that part of this project.
It'll happen, we plan to let it in the next fiscal year, so in '25, right behind. So as soon as, we're gonna try to time it as this job progresses.
Right.
We'll let that job where we can, it won't even look like there was a contractor left, is what I'm hoping we can do. So we'll just keep it going.
That'd be nice.
I think they use concrete on paint or they gonna use.
So it's a mix, so it's gonna be asphalt through this area until you tie into the concrete on the other side of the river.
Okay.
And it's concrete that way.
Where does
So,
Logan County get asphalt? I'm serious, that road between here and Guthrie is a pile of crap.
So,
Has been ever since they put it down.
so on another note, I guess we go there, that is also in what we call our 8-year construction work program, where we show we get the money from the legislation, and we show, hey, these are the projects that we're gonna do for the next 8 years. And it's in our 8-year, or it's in one of what we call our asset preservation, so we have several different programs. So 33 from Guthrie to Coyle is in there. So you'll see that. And we're getting ready to go into, you'll see that soon, because what we're getting ready to go into is what we call rebalance, is where we go, hey, we have X amount of dollars, these are all our projects, these are the project estimates, here are new projects, and we're doing a puzzle piece. And what makes sense to me is when I start the paving for the 4-lane, grab 33 from Guthrie to Coyle and pave it at the same time. So I was thinking of that as I was driving here.
Oh, you noticed?
As I was driving here, that, it makes sense that I have that, we complete that corridor while we're here. So,
That would be nice.
Back to our drain up here. Is there some way they can do like half one?
let me see what they're planning on doing.
That
They
way
may
you
be,
completely shut us from off.
they may be doing it half at a time, but let me check. Let me see how they're gonna do that, because I don't know what you're talking about.
for your planning topics on this and for where Carl's going with this area here is all volunteer fire departments. Our EMS services come out of Guthrie, our police services are sheriff's department. You guys shut that completely off. First of all, we really need a point of contact that will keep us in the loop of what's going on so that we can communicate with our fire departments, our EMS, et cetera.
Well, we bank
shutting-
Langston up too, and Langston Bank, like,
That's where I'm going. So our volunteer services are whoever's available at the time. Most of the time, that means that we have Coyle, Langston, Meridian, all responding on the same stuff, whether it's here, whether it's in Langston, whether it's the other side of the river. And that road being shut off means rerouting responses, means serious traffic minutes of response time on the avenue. So this is where that becomes a really big issue for a lot of us. And why it sounds like we're small town griping about progress, and that's not it at all. We really are concerned about the folks that live here, the amount of response time, if we need EMS services, where they're gonna have to go, letting them know ahead of time, hey, you're gonna have to reroute. Part of why I asked for Langston to be a part of this as well, because Indian Meridian's gonna have the same issues. And, when you've got Meridian that comes up Indian Meridian to respond, you've got Langston that comes through there, us that goes through there. This is going to be the same issue on both sides. And our guys really need to know what they need to do here. So from public safety aspect, that's gonna be huge for us.
Right now, there's only 2 ways across the river, and that's to cross the river here at 33, go up Coyle Road, or cross the river at Hiawassee. It's the only 2 ways out.
So, very, very important for all of us.
And that'll be part of that. getting that schedule, seeing where they're at on that construction, when they plan to start that, that'll be part of that as well.
It's just like this rain too, that's coming in.
Yes, sir.
We just cross the highway, you can go across, you can go left that way.
Oh, yes, our exit floods down there. Look, I had not thought of that.
There's only one way in and out of town.
When that flows
When
in.
that
Yeah.
floods.
Where you take, Triple X Road, dirt, all the way around five.
That's flooded, guaranteed triple X and all that.
Yeah, they're flooded too.
It's impossible, just for
School
mud.
buses.
Just put mine, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, now, our fire department is asked if there's some way we can mark this out on the highway where they can get out. If they're not, they don't stop for lights. Or
The signs that you have on the highway is fire department ahead, fire department exit, whatever it is. Do y'all have anything at ODOT, flashing lights, some way to trigger so that when our fire department hits the intersection here, there's an early warning system on the highway to let people know that we've got emergency vehicles that need to be.
since they started working out here, they've had almost several accidents.
Because see, we're sitting at a stop sign,
I'll have to check.
with the lights blaring, but we're sitting at a stop sign,
I'll have to check on
so
that.
they don't
Because
pay
they go,
attention to us.
so they go 65 miles an hour and they,
If you're lucky.
yeah, and they don't know to stop, or they don't know the legal on it.
I sat on the other side of the intersection last Saturday when we got done and watched one of our tankers sit there while both sides of traffic just kept on going, looking at him like, oh, oops, my bad. So it's a huge issue. He's got his siren going, his lights going, honking his horn, people just keep on driving.
And that's kind of,
It's like a school zone light, basically. Throw it up and say, stop, fire.
Yeah. We understand that's not a part of this project,
No, but
but
that's
it's
part of
a
my.
concern. if you
Yeah,
don't like-
and that's part of my area, my district is Oklahoma City urban area, all the way up I-35 to Kansas, all the counties. That's the whole area that we're over.
Okay.
So yeah, so this is our area that we.
Someone
that we
saw something
maintain.
at Edmond that's, it triggers when, they trigger it from the station. And I don't have a clue where,
I know that, our chief asked me to ask you about that.
Let me check on
Thank you.
that. Yeah, I'll check it. I got it.
One of those.
I'm not ignoring you. I'm writing things
No,
down
no,
so
no.
I don't forget. So.
Oh, you're good. I appreciate you doing that.
If you got anything else?
I have two more things. One is quickly, and it's kind of, I think it's a non-question, but we have a lot of truckers in town. And so when is the distance between the highways and such, is it designed for semis to be able to hang there until they can cross the road?
Yeah.
Or the big combines?
Or livestock trailers.
Trailers? I just wanna make sure that there's enough.
Or off ramps.
Yeah, this is
They
a,
need to be long enough to hold some traffic.
yeah.
Are you talking about the turn lanes?
Yeah.
To get the turn lanes or the median?
Or whichever, whatever
There should be a
makes it
turn lane on
safe.
medium, and there should be one on the off, on it.
Well, you got
Yeah,
a
so we
turn
have,
lane.
yeah, you're gonna have, there will be the turn lane.
And then if you get,
But you're talking about in the middle, between the two lanes.
will
the
they,
median.
will they,
Yeah, okay.
if they get started and somebody pops over the hill and they gotta slam on the brakes with a trailer load of cattle, are they gonna have room to not have their butt stuck out on the other lanes on the other side?
You know, turn lanes, that would need to be longer than they are now.
Yeah, but then if they get in between and some, because that's over, they pop over that hill. They can't stop fast enough.
If they get in a plane, they're gonna get hit, they can't stop.
Uh-uh.
They're going too fast.
I'm not, even if they put they,
I don't care what speed.
They're gonna
limit
get
it's about,
pushed.
they're gonna do 90 miles an hour.
the load's gonna push them.
So this is a community meeting. Is anybody else got any questions or concerns, anything that we haven't addressed thus far?
I have one more. No,
Oh,
I don't. Okay. My friend, I had somebody else print these pictures. There was another one showing, okay. This is our tree lot. It's a DEQ approved tree lot. We used to have a gravel roadway across the other, and you can still see the turnoff. I was hoping to get a picture of it, but I was doing something else. But you see, this drop, I have no idea. Is it 20 foot? Is it 30 foot? Has anybody measured, knows how much of a drop off? They have literally raised the roadbed in front of our lot. You can see the gravel where our exit was. That tree lot, that town lot has been used, how many years?
Like 5 or 6 at least.
Oh, no.
This on the east side of the river?
On the east side
On the east side of the river before you get to the concrete section?
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a pond, there's a house in that
Right
pond.
here's the pond.
Was that
Yeah.
pond?
And here's our tree
To the
lot,
west.
right here,
Okay.
right here.
There's a
And
gate
right
right
now-
there, so you think, if you see a gate, you think,
They probably got
But
missed.
we-
To be honest, they got missed.
Yeah, I think it did, because
They just got missed.
we did, I was gonna
That's
have to
fixable,
send
right?
it. We reported it to ODOT, Stillwater office, back, what, 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago, and got no response. We were trying to get our fire department in there to burn it, so we'd be prepared for the spring storms. You notice we got a lot of trees around here.
We're in a 3-year
And
drought.
right now, we're in violation of DEP regulations because we can't get to our tree lot and we're stacking trees in town. That's a DEP violation. You can have both of these.
I think Wendy's got another notepad back there.
But anyway, we have both of those. I have some more. Let me see. Actually, I thought it was missed. The other dude that's right next gate to us has a driveway, but his is more level. Ours is a deep dive.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it.
It's incredible.
I bet it just got missed.
Well, it would be, this shows you how deep it is. I can't really touch that. This is a roadbed up here. This is down here. I don't want to guess or anything. I guessed it if I wanted to. But that's, see here, that's right there. And then our gate's right down in here. Now, this is not in front of it.
Kind of the equipment. You got big trucks going in there?
Well, we got fire trucks, and we got a
Truck.
tanker
yeah,
truck.
we got,
Trailers?
all the
Trailers,
Because
newer
last
size.
time they burned it, they
The only
had,
reason I say that is I want to make sure I make the radiuses big.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all newer size.
yeah, the last time it got away from them and they had to run out of there and go.
Somebody has to take a dozer in there to push it all up. We just need something big enough.
That's why we've asked you, Joanne, to stack it instead of leaving it scattered all over.
Well, we could-
The
if the-
problem is, if the people do it, they don't have anything to stop it.
they borrow the key, they go in and they find the first stop. And if I could stack it for you, I would, but I can't. So, I have to tell you.
Come on, Joanne, you can go in there and stack it.
Here, Secret Service,
I will take
here's the
my-
exit
I'll
going
take the
to.
tractor, so I can push it out when we get.
That was the old exit. That's the, what was gravel.
Oh, okay, yep. Yeah, I know
There's two
exactly
of
what
them,
you're talking
there's 2 of them. There's one, and they gravelled it onto the gate, and then there's ours. And it's,
Yep.
but it is no food so far.
Okay, I got one question for OJ. Okay, so, maybe I missed it. What is the time frame on your side maybe that you can address it? Is it a month from now or 2 months? That you can get to discuss putting the light out there? And what moves it up in the ranking of doing something? Is it safety? Is it, what, I mean, you guys have something that you use to quantify who gets to go next.
Well, no, so let me see, one second, I just asked what is the reason we're not putting up lights, because, you know, and I'm thinking maybe it's because of safety, and I don't know if we're not putting in lights right now, because who knows, maybe something else might get cut. you
Yes.
know, But no, once we gather information, once we have a discussion, what I plan to do after this meeting is get with our lighting guy, address the concerns, like, hey, is this safety? I don't know how soon ODOT's gonna be done, is it gonna be a year? It may be a year, but in the meantime, right now, there's a lot of concern about that intersection. and what can we do? So I think that's where and I'll probably set up a meeting with, Joanne.
The trustees.
The trustees
Yeah.
and ODOT as well, so we can all kind of.
I didn't know if it was a 6
Because I don't know if there's
thing,
different
but
policies or different things that's kind of keeping us from, because like you said, at the end of the day, it is about the safety. But I don't know really the technicality, that's why I wish my person was here tonight. as
For
far
those
as
of y'all that haven't met him, this is
I'm
Spencer
sorry.
Brown. He's our community coordinator for OG&E. He doesn't handle all the different departments, he handles all the different departments. So he's the one that we call when we have issues in town, that has the Rolodex of phone numbers that he can then call to get each of those issues addressed, so.
So I know just enough to.
Trouble with And thank you for being here tonight.
Did you have a question?
It was the same thing that she asked, which was the time frame of where does the conversation happens, when do we get on?
As
That's it.
soon as I leave.
Anybody else gonna have a
Get
question?
together, that's it.
Anybody got a question they want to ask? Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to know if we have a problem in the middle of the night with an accident or whatever, up at that intersection, do we send medical bills to OG&E?
I'm starting to rethink introducing her to you.
We'll let that ride. I pray to God that nothing happens out there. But I do have another question, if I may. For those of us that are new to the community and don't know what it is, what's the tree lot?
We have got some acreage out here on 51. All we put out there is trees.
That's all it's approved for.
That's all approved for.
It's a refuse.
We take,
Okay.
we take all the tree limbs out there.
Burn spot?
and
Okay, thank you.
That's Grant.
And I don't know if you guys brought it up, I'm kind of late, but what's the chances of getting, instead of just a single light, a double light? My purpose of that
You're all
is,
right. We'll fill you in a minute, okay?
oh, you have got that, okay.
Okay. Anybody got anything else?
Well, I have some personal questions. You may not realize that, but that's my farm, which is, I've got a lot of other issues with contractors. So, can we take that off
Is that,
record
yeah.
when, before the meeting, over this week?
Misty, do you have anything from the Langston side on this?
Not at this moment, but I get phone numbers, I don't know if Langston has a contact for OG&E.
There it is.
Yeah, I work with.
This is one of the trustees for the town of Langston. We have to be here to represent it as well.
I think I have a question with you and Bona. My purpose for this, I know that, I don't know that it's required certain lengths of the turn on, put on, off the road and stuff.
Covered that one too, Mike.
You already covered that? Okay, can we make it longer as well? Give it to you?
We've covered that.
All right, you got it.
Thank you
I
very
was
much.
sitting here and just listening.
Hey, we're on the same page.
Somebody's got to, you make a living.
Anybody, you got anything?
Ms. Meeks, do you have any concerns or you good? Okay.
You don't have anything?
Yeah,
Come on now.
well,
I thought it started.
this question, how many,
Anybody?
They
or
switched up.
when it comes like streetlights, like we have none now, it's dangerous, how many is gonna propose to be out there?
We'll
They're
figure
talking
it
about 2 to 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
They're not there yet.
Oh, well, I was.
That was number one, it's 6.
Anywhere from 2 to 4.
out. Okay.
Mr. January, do you have anything else to add, any ideas or what ODOT's got planned that you're aware of? Or something to give us a little forecast on? Not to put you on the spot there, but anything that we haven't covered that might be of use to the system?
No, not that I can think of. I think once I get that schedule, and kind of see their plan and how they want to attack some of this stuff, I'll have to look for it inside on.
That would be good.
And so-
And I'll
So-
go from one project back to the next.
That is the plan, is try to let that paving project at the right time where they get all that earthwork complete. That other contractor can come in right behind and start paving.
And this is several miles long, so just because they're not here, they're still working on the same project down the road.
Correct, yeah, so they're doing, they got a lot of the earthwork kind of done around here, they're moving further east all the way to where it turns into that 5-lane section.
Yeah.
Before you get to 137, so.
Let me ask you, so when is Oklahoma gonna approve the budget for this coming year?
It's still
Put
only
him on the
April.
Now you're in trouble.
But that's really, the funding will come out of the FY '25 ODOT funding, correct,
For the paving,
for the paving? And not just for the Guthrie, but for all of the paving?
correct.
Comes out of this upcoming budget that's before the House, Senate?
It has to be done before May 31st,
Okay.
Okay, good answer.
by law.
Good answer.
Yeah, I understand, but my point being that funding bill will depend on whether or not we're adequately funded for this place. I'll just say it.
This project's already been approved. They
The
have to
current
by
project,
law
the current project is good.
fund the whole
Right.
thing.
But they haven't funded the paving.
Right.
Correct.
No, but because it's part of the project that's already been approved and adopted, they have to fund that before they can fund anything else.
Yeah,
Right?
it's fine.
Okay.
Amazing.
I want to personally thank you all for coming. Even though we have to, you have to on the spot. We apologize for that. We got questions that need to be answered, and you got to do that. That's all we
Yep.
do.
And I got a list of things to get back with you guys on. We just recently hired a new resident engineer that oversees all those projects.
And I met him.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah. And so, he will more than likely be the point of contact. And the guy we originally had on the job took a job in the city, so we've had a lot of personnel changes.
Okay.
So I'm not making excuses, just letting you know that we've had a lot of personnel changes on this job. I will for sure get you a point of contact.
I will say he's got a farming background that understands questions and my problems that I was talking to him with the other day, so it's nice.
You got anything you want?
Nope.
Well, after all that, no, I ain't going there.
Come on now.
Well, we need to thank John for arranging for
The
this
but
and
Joanne, you need to tell the June election is gonna determine who's gonna be our
that's
representative.
okay.
Can't say
I don't know that we can say that, we don't politic.
Thank you very much. Thank you, for citizen, for your contribution there. I make a motion to adjourn.
I second it, thank
All
you.
in favor? Aye.
Hello, Gene. You what?
Down there at the house,
Oh.
because I thought it was a Zoom.
Oh.
Oh, look, you're here early.
Well, you know, I've already
Yeah.